the stillness of the night on January 17th, Ukraine was jolted awake by the thunderous sound of Russian airstrikes targeting crucial military sites. This marked a renewed offensive that saw explosions reverberate across the nation, from the southern port city of Odessa to the heart of Kiev. Russia's campaign aimed at crippling Ukrainian infrastructure critical for NATO's military supply lines. In Odessa, known for its strategic ports along the Danube, the night sky was lit up by explosions near the airport and port, areas crucial for military logistics. These strikes were part of a broader strategy by Russian forces to disrupt the flow of NATO weapons and experts into Ukraine, leveraging the Danube's proximity to Romania, a NATO member. Reports emerged of Russian drones encroaching on Romanian airspace, highlighting the growing geopolitical tensions in Eastern Europe as NATO's involvement complicates the conflict further. The seaport of Chernomorsk, also known as Ilyevsk, was reportedly targeted, with nearby Zatoka becoming a regular focus for Russian attacks due to its role in military transportation routes. Meanwhile, Kiev and its surrounding districts, such as Obukhov, were rocked by explosions, with Ukrainian media confirming Russian drones over the capital. British media revealed a particularly alarming incident involving a Russian drone flying near a location where President Zelensky was meeting with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, underscoring the persistent peril facing Ukraine's leadership. Beyond these major cities, Russian drones continued to assault industrial and military targets across Ukraine. Regions like Zhytomyr, Venetaya, and Khmelnytsky experienced explosions, exacerbating the nation's vulnerability. Border areas like Sumy and Chernihiv faced airstrikes, emphasizing the widespread nature of the conflict. Amidst this, the Ukrainian armed forces grappled with significant internal challenges. Commander Serhiy Filimonov of the 108th Separate Mechanized Battalion highlighted the struggles of newly formed brigades trained in the West, which, despite modern equipment, struggled with battlefield effectiveness due to coordination and leadership deficiencies. Filimonov stressed the need for a robust command structure, noting that many new brigades consist of reserve officers lacking combat experience. This leadership gap has led to equipment losses and high casualties, prompting NATO to reassess its training methods. The 155th Mechanized Brigade exemplifies these challenges. Despite advanced training and equipment, its operations have been hampered by a lack of experienced leadership. Over 1,700 soldiers have reportedly deserted, seeking units with better command and coordination. In response, Ukraine has initiated investigations to address these shortcomings, working with Western partners to supply modern weapons and armored vehicles to struggling units. However, the absence of necessary skills among soldiers to effectively use this equipment remains a critical issue. Ukraine is reevaluating its military training approach, integrating experienced professionals from existing brigades into temporary infantry roles to enhance new units' effectiveness. The Ukrainian military struggles highlight a critical gap in training and preparedness, as many soldiers lack essential skills for survival on the front lines. Basic competencies such as weapons handling and grenade throwing constitute only a fraction of what is necessary for effective combat. Soldiers must also master camouflage, movement, drone warfare, providing medical aid, and executing precise intelligence reports. These skills, coupled with trust in leadership and comprehensive planning, are crucial for success in modern warfare. Filimonov noted that many comprehensive training programs are only available within Ukraine, leaving units trained abroad at a disadvantage. The 155th Mechanized Brigade, for example, faced challenges due to a lack of electronic combat systems, making movement near the front lines in unarmored vehicles extremely dangerous. Soldiers often rely on voluntary organizations and family support for vital equipment like radios, batteries, and electronic systems necessary for trench warfare. This reliance underscores inadequacies in the supply chain and training infrastructure, threatening Ukrainian forces' effectiveness and safety. Soldiers sent to the front lines with insufficient preparation face high risks of casualties or desertion. Filimonov's assessment highlights the urgent need for reform in Ukraine's military training programs. Without adapting to Ukraine's unique warfare conditions, units risk ineffectiveness and endanger soldiers who lack confidence in their leadership. The situation is critical, prompting Ukraine to consider decriminalizing desertion to allow soldiers to leave units with poor leadership. This controversial move reflects desperation and urgency as Ukraine grapples with modern warfare challenges while maintaining morale and cohesion. Further complicating the military landscape, Ukraine's handling of personnel transfers has sparked controversy. Over 5,000 soldiers from the Ukrainian Air Force were slated for transfer to infantry and assault units. Deputy Ruslan Horbenko of the ruling party, Servants of the People, explained the rationale, emphasizing that aircraft maintenance personnel would not be affected. Instead, soldiers from mobile firing groups trained in anti-aircraft weapons were reassigned to support infantry operations closer to the front lines. This decision followed an inspection of staffing levels by Commander-in-Chief Oleksandr Syrsky, revealing understaffing in rifle battalions, while support units had surplus personnel. The transfer aims to bolster frontline capabilities by reallocating resources from rear to active combat zones. However, this move has not been without critics. Vitaly Bartgorshevsky, a soldier from the 114th Air Brigade, voiced concerns on Facebook about the impact of transferring technical staff to infantry roles. His post, later deleted, highlighted the time-consuming and specialized nature of training for aircraft maintenance personnel. The reassignment of these specialists poses a significant risk, depleting valuable resources and placing untrained soldiers in direct combat roles, potentially limiting their effectiveness. Despite assurances from the Ministry of Defense that crucial air maintenance personnel would remain, the transfer of other Air Force soldiers has raised alarm. A special committee was established by the Ukrainian Air Force to prevent reassignment of personnel with critical expertise, ensuring key positions in electronic air defense systems and other vital areas remain filled. This committee is tasked with investigating potential violations and taking corrective measures as necessary. These efforts reflect Ukraine's commitment to maintaining operational integrity and effectiveness while navigating modern warfare complexities. As the situation evolves, the Ukrainian military faces the daunting challenge of adapting strategies and training programs to meet the demands of an ever-changing battlefield. The need for reform is clear, but the path forward is fraught with difficulties, requiring a delicate balance between immediate needs and long-term strategic goals. The stakes are high, and the consequences of failure could be dire, not only for Ukraine, but for the broader geopolitical landscape. In the face of adversity, the resilience and courage of the Ukrainian military serve as an inspiration, not only to Ukrainians, but to all who value freedom and independence. As we reflect on these events, one must ponder, how will Ukraine's experiences shape the future of warfare? And what lessons can be learned from its struggles and triumphs? As these questions linger, we are reminded of the importance of support and solidarity in times of crisis. If you found this report insightful, consider subscribing and liking for more in-depth analyses and updates on this and other critical global issues. Together, we can stay informed and engaged in shaping a better future for all. It seems I misunderstood your initial request as asking for a rewrite in 3 parts, but you've provided a continuous text. Since the previous response was already the complete rewritten text in a single block, there isn't a second part to provide. If there's anything else you'd like to adjust or another specific task you have in mind, please let me know. Certainly, here is the text divided into 3 distinct parts. This is the 3rd part. The broader context of these efforts cannot be ignored. The geopolitical tensions between Russia and Ukraine continue to escalate, with NATO's involvement adding further complexity to the situation. As Ukraine navigates this intricate landscape, it must also contend with the limitations of its current military infrastructure and the pressing need for reform. The experiences of soldiers like those in the 155th Mechanized Brigade serve as a poignant reminder of the human cost of war and the imperative for effective leadership and training. As Ukraine works to address these issues, it faces a critical question. How can it develop a military force that is both resilient and adaptable in the face of unprecedented challenges? The answer lies in a multifaceted approach that encompasses not only military training and equipment, but also the cultivation of trust and confidence within the ranks. By fostering a culture of strong leadership and comprehensive planning, Ukraine can build a military force capable of meeting the demands of modern warfare. Yet as the nation strives to implement these reforms, it must also contend with the immediate realities of the battlefield. The conflict with Russia shows no signs of abating, and the stakes remain high for Ukraine and its allies. The path forward is fraught with uncertainty, but the resolve of the Ukrainian people and their commitment to defending their sovereignty offers a glimmer of hope amidst the turmoil. As the world watches, the outcome of this conflict will undoubtedly have far-reaching implications, shaping the future of global security and international relations. In the face of such adversity, the resilience and courage of the Ukrainian military serve as an inspiration, not only to the people of Ukraine, but to all who value freedom and independence. As we reflect on these events, one must ponder, how will Ukraine's experiences shape the future of warfare, and what lessons can be learned from its struggles and triumphs? As these questions linger, we are reminded of the importance of support and solidarity in times of crisis. If you found this report insightful, consider subscribing and liking for more in-depth analyses and updates on this and other critical global issues. Together, we can stay informed and engaged in shaping a better future for all. If you need further adjustments or another segment, feel free to let me know.